Hey guys, as we've talked about several times this month, February is Black History Month, and I want to share during this month some stories of people, some that you know, and some that maybe you don't know. And this book is called Mr. and Lady Day. Now, some of you parents may know who Lady Day is. I like her. She's a singer from a long, long time ago, but she's incredibly talented. But she did not have an easy life. And she didn't always make the right choices. But, well, why don't I let you see? It's called Mr. and Lady Day. And it's a story about Billie Holiday, who was the singer, and her dog, by the way. Billie Holiday loved to sing. As a girl, she sang along to her favorite songs on a borrowed gramophone. She dreamed of being a big star. And a star she became. They called her Lady Day. But sometimes stars just don't feel like shining. They need someone to listen, and that's what friends are for. And Lady Day's best friends were her dogs. There were a lot of dogs in Lady Day's life. The poodle she carried in her coat pocket, and the brown and white beagle. There were chihuahuas. Their name was Chiquita and Pepe, and she fed them with a baby bottle. There was a Great Dane named Gypsy and a white-haired terrier named Bessie May who wagged her tail like a metrodome. And a metrodome is something you use in music to keep the time. There was Ravihoy, a sad mutt that she gave the grandest name, who would wander off but always found his way home to her. And then there was a boxer named Mister. Mister and Lady Day were rarely apart. She would knit him sweaters and cloak him in a mink coat. She cooked for him and took him on midnight walks. So there's Lady Day, and there's Mister. She sang to him. Mister was Lady Day's favorite. Someday she would have a house in the country filled with dogs. Life would be good. And Mister would be there. He always was. When Lady Day performed at glamorous Harlem clubs, Mister sat beside her before the show. Porters brought him plates of thick steak and bowls of water. Later, she stayed with Lady in her dressing room, where she pinned the flowers in her hair. He kept her fans at a polite distance. So Mister was also a guard dog, and a kind of scary looking one too. When it was time for her to sing, Mister would lead a nervous Lady to the stage and wait for her in the wings. Lady was famous for singing the blues, but the sadness of her songs didn't matter to Mister. As long as he could hear her, he was happy. Here he is. Then, just when her career was at the top, Lady got into trouble. She got into trouble using drugs. She had to leave home for a year, and Mister couldn't come to see her. It was like he was left, and it made her heart sick. But she promised Mister she'd be home. But when she looked into his sad eyes, she wasn't sure if she would ever get to see him again. While Lady was gone, she wrote letters and knit sweaters, but she did not sing. Singing was a feeling, and right now she didn't feel anything. When it was finally time to return, she wondered if Mister would be there, and would he even remember her at all. was. Running down the platform, Mister leaped on Lady, knocking her down. Someone screamed and everyone scattered, but soon a crowd was saying, "It's Billie Holiday." And the lady's homecoming was as bright as a paparazzi's flashbulb. He didn't forget her. Lady couldn't go home just yet. On the front porch at a friend's farm, she rehearsed. It was time for her to sing again, whether she meant to or not. In just 10 days, she had the biggest show she had ever booked at New York's Carnegie Hall. Lady was afraid. She had heard the rumors that she was over and through. Was it true, she thought? And this is one of the most important venues in New York City. It's a very big deal to play there. On the night of the big show, the concert glowed. At midnight, the house lights were dimmed and a spotlight. Slowly, Lady walked to the center stage. The hall so quiet you could hear her shoes click. Lady trembled. Where was Mister? Was he waiting in the wings? And as the band began to play, Lady lifted her chin, and when the great Billie Holiday sang, everyone and a dog held their breath and listened. Yeah, there's Lady, but yes, Mister is right over there listening to her sing. Now here is a picture of the real Billie Holiday and the real Mister. So, she had a lot of success, but her life wasn't always a happy one. She had a lot of rough things happen and she died very young. However, the dogs that she owned, especially Mister, but all of them, made her feel safe and loved, and they were her happy place, I guess you would say. You know, if you ever want to hear her, I'm sure you can probably find it on her on YouTube. Now, she sings sad songs, but they're beautiful songs. So, I hope you enjoyed learning a little bit about Lady Day. Remember, her name is actually Billie Holiday. And of course, we can't forget Mister. She wouldn't like that at all. Bye, guys.